The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to John. Jesus' disciples said, "Now you are talking plainly and not in any figure of speech. Now we realize that you know everything and you do not need to have anyone question you. Because of this, we believe that you came from God." Jesus answered them, "Do you believe now? Behold, the hour is coming and has arrived when each of you will be scattered to his own home, and you will leave me alone. But I am not alone, because the Father is with me. I have told you this so that you might have peace in me. In the world you will have trouble, but take courage. I have conquered this world." This is the good news of our salvation. In preparation for the Feast of Pentecost, the liturgy presents to us Jesus' encouragement to his disciples during the Last Supper. This is his discourse during the first sacrifice of the Mass on Holy Thursday. He was trying to fortify them for the great catastrophe that would happen to their community when Jesus was arrested, tried, and crucified. Jesus, however, knew what would happen when that crisis broke, because he tells us in today's passage exactly what would happen when this event, this hour, began to unfold after the Last Supper. He says, "You believe in me? The hour has arrived when each of you will be scattered to his own home and will leave me alone." We know the terrible fate of Judas, part of the community who betrayed Jesus. And we know also in the Gospels, especially in this Gospel, that Peter, the one Jesus had chosen to be the leader of his community, would deny that he even knew Jesus. In the face of this crisis, this disaster, and the rest of the disciples will run away. They did not want to be associated with Jesus in the midst of his cross. They did not support him. His community, in this sense, was a failure, but only a temporary failure, because Jesus was preparing them for the next stage of their formation. This stage would begin when the Holy Spirit came down upon them, united them, gave them solidarity, made them the new family of God. And it would transform them because of the power of the Spirit coming from Jesus, who ascended to the right hand of the Father, and would come back through the Spirit into his church. It would transform them from disciples to apostles. It is true that when Jesus was telling them at the Last Supper during this discourse that he was one with the Father, and he gave them a new commandment that they must be one with one another. This was the symbolism of his washing their feet before he began this discourse. But during the discourse, he tried to teach them concretely who he was, because he was one with his Father and always did, no matter what the Father wanted him to do, he always did what the Father had in mind. They were of one mind, one creativity. And he wanted his disciples to know this. He, of course, would tell them what was the nature of their community, to be bonded together in love, washing the feet, not only Jesus of his disciples, but inviting them to do the same for one another. They thought they knew what Jesus was saying, but they did not know completely, because there was another stage in the hour or the event of Jesus dying on the cross, but then rising from the dead. This is also part of our own spiritual growth, the process of our spiritual progress. What happens is that as we go through life, as we pass from one stage to another, Jesus continues to reveal himself through the Holy Spirit to us through the concrete experiences of our lives. Sometimes those experiences are full of joy, full of celebration, full of success and happiness. But there are other times, as we get older, when we experience the cross in our own lives, and we have to learn who Jesus is in a new way, deepening our faith, our hope, and our love in him, in the midst not only of good times, but also times that are filled with disaster, calamity. These failures or these crosses that we receive can come from many sources. In modern times, we are aware of the natural disasters that are afflicting us, or man-made disasters through misuse of the natural resources that are part of our heritage. But in all this, we have to never forget what Jesus is telling us in today's gospel. Perhaps we will abandon him, leave him alone, but he will not do that for us. He is always there to receive us when we return, having been converted by the realization that Jesus is the Son of God, who loves us with an infinite love.